It's Within All News. Thanks for joining me. Pastors Ordination Course Batch 9. The Batch 9 Pastors Ordination course is ongoing as pastors across ECWA converged at the ECWA headquarters, Jos, in Nigeria, for a 2-week Pastors Ordination Capacity Building course which began on the 10th and will run to 22nd of September 2023. The Capacity Building course was organized by the Church-Related Ministries Department, headed by Reverend Benjamin Nasara. The theme for the course is Visionary Pastor, a Catalyst for Change. The head of Pastoral Church-Related Ministries, Reverend Joseph Aduga, stated the essence of the course is to prepare the pastors for their ordination because in ECWA now, a pastor cannot be ordained unless he participates in the Capacity Building course. He added that the Capacity Building courses began in 2020 with the aim of boosting the pastor's capacity, just like refresher courses. The Batch 9 Ordination course has about 101 participants and 20 resource persons who will discuss various topics such as ECWA monuments, pastoral ethics and etiquettes, emotional intelligence and roles of the pastor's wife in ministry, among other topics. He stressed that pastoral ministry in ECWA has received a great boost due to these courses.
We have there are about 20 of them, resource persons. Each day we run about 3 courses each day. It's more of teaching than other things, though we have what we call excursion to the department. You know, some of the pastors here, they are from far place. Some of them from Lagos, from Port Harcourt, from Sokoto. Some of them, this is their first time of being in Jos. And we want them to be acquainted with ECWA department. So we take them into various ECWA departments. We have few hours to talk about ECWA, to talk about the department. Each department say this is the department, this is what they are doing, and this is what they are doing for ECWA.
One of the resource persons, Mr. Shuaibu Dembo, discussed the pastoral and internal control in church administration and said ECWA has pastor's handbook and other documents that the pastor must adhere to. Therefore, they must be equipped to ensure that they obey ECWA rules and guidelines in all aspects.
You know, in ECWA, a pastor in ECWA is the chief accounting officer of the local church. And he's also the chairman of the local church board. So by that, it means that the box usually stops on him or on his table when matters of policies implementation. One of the responsibilities of a pastor in ECWA is actually to ensure full implementation of the ECWA goal and objectives, full implementation or strict adherence with the ECWA bylaws, ECWA constitution, financial policy and guidelines, and then other regulations of ECWA. So to be able to do that, the pastor must be positioned, equipped, you know, with the necessary tools, information, and knowledge that will be able to put him, you know, aright when it comes to ensuring the full implementation of, you know, this statutory document. So this paper, the pastor and the internal control in church administration, is actually aimed at equipping the pastors to be able to recognize and identify strengths and weaknesses in the internal control system in the course of doing their work. Many a times in the course of doing this work, you hear pastors confessing that actually they acted in error out of negligence, out of ignorance, you know, because many of them are not really conversant or they don't have good understanding of some of these statutory guidelines. So as such, you see them acting, you know, outside the authorization of these books. But with programs like this, is a continuous thing, and I can guarantee you that from the records we have available, the level of compliance is actually, you know, encouraging.
He added that the paper he presented is aimed at equipping the pastors to be able to recognize and identify the strengths and the weaknesses in the internal control system in the course of doing their work, and stated that there is a great level of compliance by ECWA pastors in the aspect of obeying rules and regulations.
Honestly, the capacity ordination course is rich and is very, very good and commendable for pastors that are yet to be ordained, because when you come down to this place, you are going to learn a lot of things that you've known before and a lot of things that you don't know before. The course has helped me in some of the challenges that I'm going in the ministry right now, especially the eternal control that the Chief Eternal Auditor is taking right now. It's opening our eyes more to know much more about finances, how to manage them and how to go about them in ECWA. If you do them rightly, you will succeed. If you don't do them rightly, you'll be penalized, meaning that you need to follow the books of ECWA for you to succeed. And of course, it's going to help us, and to follow these books, we will do it because we have pledged an allegiance to ECWA and also to God Almighty, that will be faithful in discharging our responsibilities. So we are very much grateful, particularly myself, because I have learned a lot.
Honestly, ECWA ordination capacity building course is a very interesting program. It helps one to remember and reconnect to some of the things he has had before and learned before, even through the seminary training and the few experiences recorded in the ministry. At the same time, we'll also introduce one into new areas of ministries that would be very relevant for the ministry in the future. Like myself, I can attest to the fact that it's a very rich and interesting program with good topics and themes to consider that will help one to cope in the ministry so far.
Pastor Promise Ajuga, who is coming from Port Harcourt, DCC, Rivers State, Nigeria, lamented that he traveled for about a day and a half before reaching Plateau State and faced a lot of difficult situations before getting to the venue. He appealed to the leadership of ECWA to look into the matter and see if a venue will be created for people coming from far distances to conduct their own ordination courses around their region or zone.
However, the little challenges as a person, as a pastor, I may record is that of coming from distance, having to experience so many hard things on the way. Like some of us, it took us a day and a half to get to Jos Plateau State. The accommodation, feeding for the 2 weeks. This is the areas maybe perhaps our leaders will improve in reminding the churches the need for this, so that the pastor might not stand alone while preparing for this program. If ECWA leadership could consider putting up our registration and other expenses we make and bring the thing down to us, like decentralizing it, we in the South-South-Southeast may have a particular center where this program could be run. Those from other regions of the nation can also meet. I believe it will go a long way, because our people might, or are more of the opinion that if you imagine our registration, transportation, accommodation, feeding for 2 weeks, even half of it or 75% of it can bring down some few people down there in the zone to train pastors.
In the course of the program, the participants will also visit ECWA departments in the headquarters as part of the program. That's all on Winning All News. Many thanks for watching. I am Lois Turaki from all the crew members. Have a great weekend.